Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Blazekiller, and today we are back with another video. In today's video, I want to explore just how many different cooking stages of the new pumpkin there actually are. So behind me, I have a whole bunch of pumpkins, these new 2024 Halloween pumpkins, and they have the unique feature of being able to be cooked in the volcano. What I mean by that is you can place them in the volcano, and they can turn a different color, a different shade of orange, essentially, until they become completely black. Now, this is not a feature unique to items in this game, specifically food items. Other items such as the turkeys, all of the turkeys, in fact, the bread, the pies can be cooked. That is kind of shaded, in a sense, in the volcano. Other items such as the lump of coal can be ignited on fire in the volcano. That was not the lump of coal, but you get the point right there, lump of coal. And then the ball of snow, as well as the block of ice, which I don't have on me right now, can be melted in the volcano. So the volcano has a variety of features. I made a whole video discussing those and describing those. Go watch that if you're curious. It can melt things, it can ignite things on fire, it can also cook things. And the pumpkin that we have here can be cooked as so. Now, this is a feature unique to pumpkins. This is something that is definitely new. And this pumpkin doesn't share that feature. None of the pumpkins besides this new one share that feature because, well, this one it's like modern. It's like realistic looking, and it functions similarly in that it can be cooked. So I'm going to bring a whole bunch of pumpkins to the volcano. I'm going to cook them and see how many different stages we can see, cooking stages specifically, as we cook them in the volcano. So how does this work? Essentially, you leave the pumpkins that you want to cook in a health damaging area of the volcano. So anywhere where you begin to take damage in the volcano is where there is a viable location for you to cook something. Now, the minimum cooking time for really anything of those items that I just showed you, as well as this new pumpkin, is 5 minutes, supposedly. We're going to kind of experiment with this here. And the maximum cooking time is supposedly 20 minutes. By 20 minutes, the pumpkin should be completely black. I believe if you leave it in there long enough, it ignites on fire, as something would in real life too. So there's some reality to this. But is it actually true that there are 12 cooking stages, which there supposedly are? Oops. I'll post a picture on the screen of those 12 cooking stages. And if the math holds true, if the minimum cooking time is 5, the maximum is 20, there's around 15 minutes to cook with. 12 cooking stages, which means every minute and 15 seconds, there should be a new shade of pumpkin. But I placed some pumpkins in here earlier, and after about a minute, I could notice a difference in the shading of the pumpkins. So I think it's more of a gradient that's occurring here rather than there being specific stages of the pumpkins being cooked, but we're going to test that in today's video. So anywhere where you begin to take damage is some location where you can leave your pumpkins. So I'm going to make sure at the end of this truck, I'm still taking damage. Yeah, so all of those should be good. I'm going to start my timer right now, and then every about a minute or so, I'm going to take one of these pumpkins out of that truck, or rather, I'm going to reset my truck and then pull back the pumpkins, and you'll kind of see how I'm going to do this. So right here, you can see pumpkins. These pumpkins have not been cooked. These have been cooked for about a minute. You can even see very clearly that there is a difference in the shading of those two types of pumpkins. And that kind of demonstrated to me, well, hey, the minimum cooking time doesn't appear to be 5 minutes. It appears to be, well, something shorter than that. So I'm going to try to get back up to this volcano before a minute has passed so I can take out the first pumpkin. All right, so I've taken out my first pumpkin, and then, of course, at the very end of this, we're going to compare the shades, the colors of all of these pumpkins, and see if there actually are different cooking stages, or if it's more of a gradient. What I mean by that is, does this volcano cook these pumpkins gradually over time? Does it make them slightly darker over time? Or does it in fact, is it in fact the reality that there are only a set number of stages for cooking? So we're going to test that in today's video, taking a pumpkin out every minute or so until they become completely black. So as you can see, there begin to appear some particle effects after about the 5-minute mark, which would align with what I've read. So it's interesting if this is actually the time at which the pumpkins begin to cook, how my pumpkin previously, that has only been cooked for about a minute or two, does appear different. So I guess this is going to be interesting to compare when we have all these pumpkins finished cooking. All right, here are the finished pumpkins. They are all cooked, and I added quite a few more pumpkins just so you can see some more variety, or rather so I can test my hypothesis that there really are more than 12 stages of pumpkins. But I was wrong. There actually are only 12 stages, as you can see here. Some of the stages are a little bit difficult to distinguish, difficult to make out, but others are very clear. Like this is obviously very different from the first one and whatnot. So there do appear to be 12, if I counted correctly, different, distinct stages of pumpkin cooking. So again, to reiterate, The minimum cooking time is around 5 minutes. My experience was around more like 5, 6, 7. Different particle effects will begin kind of emitting from the pumpkin at that stage. And then those same particle effects will continue as long as it's in there for 5+ minutes. I believe if you take it out actually and put it back in, the particle effects will stop. Whether that means the cooking time is also stopped, I'm not sure. But around 25 to 30 minutes actually was my experience for the maximum cooking time instead of around 20. So it's a little bit more for the maximum, a little bit more also for the minimum, which also will affect just how long you'll need to keep each and every one of these in there before you need to take them out. In other words, it takes around 1 to 2 minutes for each of these stages to complete. So if you're looking to do this for yourself, just keep them in there for around 1 to 2 minutes. Obviously, after the 5 minutes has passed, after the 5, 6, 7 minutes has passed, you'll know that because, again, the particles will begin coming out of the pumpkin. Then after that point, wait around 1 to 2 minutes. Then you can start taking them out periodically if you're trying to get all 12 stages, that is. And then this final stage will take quite a bit of time, more like 25 minutes. I left them in there for longer than that. They didn't seem to catch fire as some other things do when they're put in the volcano for a prolonged period of time. So that's interesting. But other than that, this does confirm that there are 12 stages, 12 distinct cooking stages of pumpkins, and thereby 12 different colors, shades of pumpkin. With all that said and done, it's going to be interesting to see how these different variants, these different shades of pumpkin actually affect the price, potentially not. I suppose all you need to do is put a pumpkin in the volcano to change the color, so maybe it won't affect the price at all. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about this. Is this something that you see yourself doing? Do you see yourself having or wanting some variety of pumpkin shades for aesthetic purposes, decoration purposes? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Hopefully you learned something new in today's video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell for me so that you'll be notified whenever I do upload a new video. Without further ado, though, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.